Hi there everybody, it's UK independent Stampin' Up demonstrator Halsey here from SlimmandStylish.stampinup.net. Over the last few weeks I've been showing you my retiring favourites, the sets in the last annual catalogue that I have fell in love with and are retiring. This week I'm going to be showing you my carryover favourites. So these sets are already on my shelf from previous catalogues and they're carrying over into the new annual catalogue. Also carrying over are the in colours from last year. So we get 5 new in colours every year. They last for 2 years. So at any one time there's always 10 in colours. These are 3 of the 5 from last year that are carrying over. They're Sweet Sorbet, Tahitian Tide and Parakeet Party. Now I'm going to be using the Tone Flora stamp set for this one. This is a gorgeous stamp set. It has outline of flowers and then it also has block infills as well. And it makes them look 3D and realistic and it's beautiful. So this is the outline of the flower and you can quite happily use the outline by itself without the infill. It still looks stunning and it still looks really nice. And then you have the infill that goes on top and colours it in. So what I'm doing is I'm just popping the outlines along the card. There's 4 or 5 of them in the stamp set. They're all different sizes, so it can work quite well for a card like this where you want to get a few of them on. And you can see that I'm just popping these in sort of sporadic places all over the card, trying not to get one colour next to each other, but failing very miserably on that one. And just trying to fill the card with as many of these images as I possibly can. And keep going until the card is full. You're then going to want to pop the inserts for these onto blocks. And you want some slightly lightly colours. So you want them sort of the same tone, but just a lighter colour. So the lighter colour for Sweet Sorbet I've gone with is Petal Pink. So now I'm getting the infill for that stamp. And I'm just going to ink it up and pop it down. Now it's really easy to do this. You line up the little dots that's in the middle of the stamp set with the dots of where the stamen is on the flower. It's really, really simple to do that. Some of the sets, when they're two-tone stamp sets, I know can be difficult to line up. Not this one. It is so simple. And there you go. Doesn't that look beautiful? It just fills it perfectly. So the lighter colour for Tahitian Tide that I'm using is Pool Party. Now you want to kind of make sure they're on the same tones. Sometimes some of the colours are on different tones. So like for instance, Tahitian Tide and Night in Navy probably wouldn't go fantastically well with each other. Now you want to make sure you also get the correct insert. So you can see I just tried to do it with the big one. You want to make sure that you get the right one for each one. This one's got sort of like a little cutaway in the middle that you can line up with. But if you're ever unsure which infill goes with which outline, they're the ones that are next to each other on the stamp set. And then for Parakeet Party, the colour that I'm going to be using as the infill is going to be Soft Sea Foam, which is just a very light green. And again, it's on the same sort of tone and it works really well on this card. Now you can see that the infill has filled it in, but it's also left some bits, so it's got some shading. It looks real, it looks like a proper colour, and I really liked that. To me, it's a very clever set because it makes it look like you've put loads of work in when realistically you haven't done that much. So I'm just lining this one up and stamping it down. You can see again, it's just added that dimension to this set and it's really nice. And this is a very light colour that I'm going over the top with, but it still works. And that's pretty much my background piece for the card done. You could do this on a big sheet of A4, so you've actually stamped your own background, then you could cut it up and make it into a one-sheet wonder. Make yourself 4 separate cards or even more than that using this as a pattern. That would be cool. Now the sentiment for this comes from the coordinating sentiment set. So when this first came out in the mini catalogue, it came out as a suite and you could get this sentiment set with the Tone Flora set. They're both still current in the annual catalogue because unfortunately the Tone Flora stamp set doesn't have any sentiments with it. So this is the sentiment I've gone with and I'm just going to chop it into a frame. I'm not going to be punching it or measuring it or anything else like that. I just wanted to create it into a frame that would go on the card. I don't want it to stand out. I want the background to do all the speaking and the sentiment just to be there. So you can see I haven't put any extra effort into making it look jazzy, cutting the edges, making it look really pretty. This is a A6 card base, so I keep the thick basic whites. I cut them in half and I score them in half to make the A6 card base, and I just burnish them every time I come and do a video. And I'm sitting the patterned piece that we created onto that to create the card base, and it fits just perfectly at 10.5 centimetres by 14.8. I'm just using some dimensionals to pop up the sentiment. I'm just going to pop a couple of those on. I always put a few more than's probably what needed, and that's just because I worry that if these go through the post, they're going to fall flat, and I don't want them to fall flat. I want them to stay puffy, so I always do add a few extra dimensionals on them, probably what you need to. And there we go. Isn't it pretty? I do really, really like this card. I'm also going to be adding some metallic enamel effects. So we get these 3 different colours. You can get them white, red and black in a pack together. I'm just using the white one here, and I'm just putting it in between a few of the flowers. I'm not doing much. It's just to add some texture onto the card. But really, it looks lovely, but it wasn't totally needed. What do you think? I love these 2 stamp sets. They are the Tone Flora and the Something Fancy stamp set, and you can find both of them in the annual catalogue, and they're both on my store. And here's the finished project. Thank you for joining me. I do hope that you enjoyed the video. Everything I've used today is available from SlimmandStylish.stampingup.net. If you did enjoy the video, please do drop me a like or leave me a comment. And if you're new to the channel, please do subscribe and come back for more content. I also have an Instagram page that I'm trying to grow at the same time. It's at SlimmandStylish, and every like or follow helps. Thanks everybody for joining me. I hope you have a lovely rest of the day. Bye.